Sega is going to make another console? Oh, wait, that's not really what's going on here. You may be hearing this thing called the Sega Spartan. This is a very interesting thing. I am going to just go ahead and swap to their website, SpartanConsole.com. I got a lot of the stuff coming up here I'm talking about. It's when I do a bunch of my videos. Spartan, feel the power. Subscribe for exclusive news. I've already done this. Blast from the past. Play your favorite games from Game Gear, Master System, Genesis, Saturn, Dreamcast, and next-gen titles. Supporting media. Spartan OS gives you access to online store. You can download games or play games from external media. Connect with your friends, share gameplay videos, screenshots, stream directly to Twitch. Technical specs. They're looking at a GeForce GTX GPU at 4 gigabytes of memory. So a lot of people, including SpawnWave, are talking about the thing at 1060. I just ordered me a 1060 finally with 6 gigs of memory because I do 1080p gaming on my computer. I don't care about 4K. It's going to be a fantastic upgrade and keep me going for a while. So that's probably what it is, around 1060. 1 terabyte HDD hard drive. Okay. 16 gigs of memory. I got 16 gigs in this thing. It's a custom built gaming rig. It's a lot of memory, even more than the Scorpio. Let's go to news and progress here. Spartan controller and Sonic 4K demo. The Spartan controller, it looks kind of like a third-party knockoff with a little branding. I'm not sure. Turbo button, clear. I'm not sure here. And they're talking about putting this system out and having to demo the system pretty soon. This is what's interesting. They're getting a lot of signatures to take it to Sega. Spartan Console is a proposal to bring Sega back to console market. We have a working prototype and photos and videos released soon as of the working console. They're getting ready for that. Our aim is to be back with previous Sega games via an online store. Be sure to sign up for more details. Brand new tech demo. There's the Spartan. I mean, it looks like an Xbox One sort of thing with, it's a controller. Turbo button because of the worthy feature. Rumble motors, 50 hours of battery life, 7 to 12 meter range. White and black versions available. More features will be, details added. So this is this GIF they put out. This is supposedly a rendered at real 4K, full speed. You see all this water out there of Sonic. I mean, I have to say, a lot of people are like, well, it looks interesting, but I'm going to just break this down. You see a lot of the same assets in here, which is fine. You don't see much over here, and you see a couple things here. I mean, I'm not saying it don't look good. It does. But that's kind of a really, I don't know. I like to see this tech demo running around in very complex areas. Maybe they made it in Unreal, like you've seen those Zelda demos they put out, and that would be fantastic to see. Spartan console design. What's currently happening is the case has been designed, and the first case is finalizing being made. They got the case that looks kind of it looks like a fucking Cylon from Battlestar. Yes, this is another 3D render. Mean looking console will not go away. In the next update, there will be a picture of the actual console. They're about ready to build the damn thing. Next update, there will also be details of Spartan OS, photos, maybe a video of the console running, and a Sonic 4K video. And, what's currently happening is that the case has been designed. It's literally 1 or 2 days around on my doorstep. Then I'll put the parts all together, and bang, we have a first prototype. Okay. What we've got here is a hope and a dream. The Spartan console is a proposed current gen console for Sega. Frequently asked questions. Let's look at this real quick. Endorsed by Sega. No, the Spartan is not endorsed by Sega. The project serves to build a working prototype to propose to Sega. They don't even have Sega to sign off on this. In turn, entice them to come back to console hardware market with a current gen console. Sonic 4K is a fan-made tech demo. It will not be sold for commercial purposes. It will be a Kickstarter. For now, we're relying on We're not relying on crowdfunding. That's very interesting. They're not even Atari Box is going to crowdfunding. How much? Unfortunately, we don't know. They want to do all the other games. Is this part of the Dreamcast 2 project? No, it's not. It's a completely new project built from scratch up. It's not run by anyone that's involved in Project Dream, which was the Dreamcast 2. I mean, it's just a front end for retro art? No, it's not part of this. Spartan OS is a semi-open source. What does that mean? It's based off a Linux system. That's another thing. Spartan OS that they're going to use is Linux. And it's open. The only closed source on the system is proprietary Spartan client software. Note the Spartan OS will only support the Spartan console hardware. So they have some of it open, some of it not. Will the Spartan support indie games? You bet. And then sign up. Alright. This is another Atari box. This is a Steam box. So it sounds like they're getting this stuff put together. Sounds like they're doing some type of build. And somebody with some technical know-how, or maybe not, knows how to maybe customize some of this stuff. What's the the CPU? We don't even know that. It's probably an AMD processor. Maybe they're usually a little cheaper. They're putting a PC in the box. They need 30-something thousand. I think it's 35,000 signatures. They're pretty close. And then they're going to go up to Sega. Sega Masters. Sega. Make a console. They're going to go. And they're going to either say yes or no. And more likely it's going to be like, no, we're not making, we are making games for everything. We're just making Sonic games as Mania for the Nintendo system. We're not making a console. So I see it as a 1% chance that they would say yes. Because Sega would have to go in there and get into hardware develop, take it, refine it, build it up, get into marketing, and they wouldn't want it open source. The Spartan console person that I'm looking at his website. Sega is not going to allow this thing to be open source. You're fucking insane. I hate to say this, if the guy's watching every video, or a girl, or whoever it is, that they're not going. Nobody like Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or Sega would allow their operating system to be open source. They'd close it down and say they did want to do this. It would be like everybody would be like, okay, you just have every Sega game, every console ever made with a great emulator, and maybe they might even put like a board in there and allow them to do Saturn a little bit easier. So that Saturn emulation is kind of tough. But here's the thing about it. It's still, what is Sega going to do? Sega's going to walk up to battle all the other big companies, EA, DICE, and go, can we get the new Call of Duty guys? And they'll be like, why are we going to make you a fucking game? You just can't. You've been dead in the console market forever. They're not going to get that. Seriously, do the people making this, do you think they're really going to get on the... It would probably be a Steam box. That's it. Sega may be able to do it, but then they'd have to get back into getting developers, publishers to trust them, and to start dropping, say the new Assassin's Creed, and Ubisoft to drop on like Fracture But Whole or something like that. They're not going to develop that. You're not going to see any of this. You're not going to see a Destiny port put on this. You're not. Unless you just hack the thing, put Windows on it, and install Steam for other stuff, install Blizzard Battle.net app, or maybe you could do it on Linux too. This thing's not going to fly. It's just not going to work. And whatever happens to this, it's just going to flop really, really hard. You cannot make Sega come back. People need to stop. I'm not saying it to be mean. It just needs to stop. This is just a Steam box, and I'm sorry, but it's just not going to work, guys. Sorry. I hope it's some type of success, and I'll be watching it just like everything else. But I cannot put I cannot even think of anything. Even Atari box look like it's going to be something. They're going to put some little box out for $2. Even got a price. And it's going to be a collectible thing to the Atari. It's going to be some type of Wayback Machine, Steam box thing, but I don't think it's going to do very well. This thing, nah, I don't think it's going to do anything at all. And if it somehow was going to market, I would just be flabbergasted. So tell me what you think in the comments below. Please share and click subscribe. And if you want to keep up with everything you've been, on my channel, you subscribe, click that notification bell. YouTube just doesn't show everything up in your subscription feed. I miss stuff, and I have to hit the bell on a lot of people I want to watch. So hit that notification bell. All right, everybody. See, let me know what you think in the comments. I just don't see this thing flying. All right, PKO Gamer out.